All right, so I thought I was recording and I wasn't because I'm a noob to Loom, which I'm sure sounds wild. It's like, who's a noob to Loom? Loom's been around forever. But me, I is. All right, so here's what I'm working on. I have a client that asked me to put in an hour of work and just seeing how much I could do in 1 hour on their website. This is their current website. And so I'm going to show you what I've done so far and why. So this is currently how it looks. This is how the client built it, which honestly, for him being a novice, I don't think this is horrible. It's not the brand colors I would choose. It's not any of that, but it could be way worse, but it also could be better. And so for a novice designing this, I think he's done a wonderful job, especially for his demographic. He is teaching people in the Middle East. He's in South Africa teaching Middle Eastern people how to be more confident in their English speaking, basically just teaching them better English skills. So currently the colors, the naming, everything is targeted towards that demographic. So I think he's doing a wonderful job. Like even this logo, I don't like this logo, but it works. These colors, I don't like these colors, but it works. Which is a good thing to understand about branding is like the question at the end of the day, does it work? Is it my preference? No. Is it aesthetically, do I even think it goes in line with some great design rules? No. I think it breaks a lot of rules, but it works. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the integrity of the brand intact while simultaneously updating the design. You are going to hear some background noise. My 1-year-old is toddling around and he's cute and loud and funny. Let's see. I'll show you what I've done so far. So compared to the current way it looks, this is the way it looks, and this is what I've edited it to. And the reason why I've done it this way, first of all, menus need to be small, in my opinion. They are more utilitarian than they are decorative. The other thing is the text was just way too overwhelming and taking up too much of the guy's face. And then I brought this down. I'm not usually a huge fan of like slogans being a huge part of the first fold of the homepage because this is the first impression, and we want to be really clear what they're going to be receiving. So that's why I added in this text here: be confident every time you speak English, because that's what we want. That's what their end result is going to be if they click book your coaching session now. Which, by the way, I'm not going to be doing much of a tutorial in this, but I am just going to be designing and explaining to you along the way my logic. But this is not a tutorial on how to use Wix. But this is, but by the way, I am using Wix Classic Editor. What I did is I asked ChatGPT, now notice like, first of all, in the old website, there is no, first of all, there's like a slider here. I can't stand that. But there's no even just mention of the word English until here. So like, there's no way for you as the user to know where you've landed. Empower, achieve, elevate. That's abstract. Okay. Or ambiguous. It's both. Be empowered with pathways, professional coaching. What kind of coaching? Doesn't say. So that's a problem. And then, this is too busy. Book online today. It's all the call to action is already right here. So we don't need this. So we want to be minimalist, but punchy and clear. So that's why I changed it to this, which still needs some work. I asked ChatGPT to take this copy and condense it, and this is what it came up with. So I'm happy with that overall. It's a good start. And again, I'm not doing like a full redesign. I'm just basically taking the time to really improve this guy's website. And he's a really cool guy from South Africa. I had a great meeting with him yesterday. Really is passionate about teaching people English and helping them feel confident in their English speaking, which is really wonderful and necessary. I'm not sure what fonts are being used here. Okay, Barlow. What are we using here? I want to keep this consistent. Okay, heading for Coombe. Interesting. Let's do. Oh, I don't have that font. That's really annoying. Let's just do Arial, just to make things simple. Okay, I'm going to change the line spacing. Look how spaced out that is. doesn't look great. So I just condensed this text, or just shorten the lines a little bit, the spacing, I mean. Hopefully this helps. It might be hard to read though. Yeah, it's not wonderful. I'm not super happy about it. I'm gonna get rid of that. The spacing isn't phenomenal. I'm gonna change that to 1.1. Just a little too congested, maybe 1.2. Yeah, it's a little easier to read. I might change this to be a bigger deal. I might make this kind of like somewhere else. Also center. Yep, getting that in the middle of the section. I kind of like this just being like its own little thing. Because this is what we really want people to understand. These are just abstract. These are just words that aren't strung together in a way that makes it clear. It does kind of lean towards like, oh, this seems like a slogan or what they're about. That's nice. So I'm just going to leave it there. I think overall this is heading in a better direction. Again, let's compare it. Here's the old one. So yeah, there we go. We want clean and clear more than anything. Clarity should take precedence over unique design. Okay, I think this is fine. Oh, however, I have a really big pet peeve about call to actions. Call to action is the button. A call to action that is when there are multiple. This needs to change entirely. This should not look like the other call to action. You should have one primary call to action. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this. I'm going to customize it. I'm going to change the text to be italicized and bold. And also, what style? Probably paragraph 1 to be consistent with. I'm not even sure what is he using. Oh yeah, he's using this different text. Okay, I'm going to go back to Arial. Text. Are we? Okay, I'm just going to go with Open Sans because I'm going to spend too much time on this. And again, I only have 1 hour, so I want to keep it brief. I'm going to left align the text. There we go, so that it's in line with that above. I'm going to make this a little smaller because it's way too dominant. 16. Okay, now it looks more like a hyperlink than it does a call to action. This is good because you don't want to distract from your primary call to action. You really want your call to action repeated over and over and over again. Book your coaching session now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm actually going to put it into the header. And now I'm going to do the same exact call to action, but I'm just going to condense it to book now. Okay. Let's make this way smaller. I'm going to make some room. Book now. Great. The reason you want that is as you scroll, you want people to continually see the book now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to freeze the header. Go here. Did I mention that I'm using Wix Classic Editor, not Studio? Oh, it does this glitchy thing every now and then where it, like the options, like see how it's popping up in a box up there? This is so annoying. So what you have to do, like go into preview mode, like scroll around a little bit, go back to editor, and it should stop doing that now. Go here. Oh, it's going to keep doing All right, so I'm still working on this little glitch. I might have to just come back to it. Sometimes it helps if you like publish it, then come back, or you might have to even refresh. Wix tech support will tell you you need to clear your cache on your browser. It's like, well, maybe this should just work. That would be nice. Let's see here. There we go. It freezes. Actually, I'm going to make it disappear. So here we go. As they scroll down, it's going to stick with them for a little bit and then disappear. Great. And then as you scroll back up, it reappears. And this is nice for, again, this is how they navigate. This is the tool they use to navigate your entire website. You want to make it very easy for them to access. Okay, now we no longer have a competing call to action button, and this is repeated here and here. This is great from, it follows some good web design rules. And then you're going to notice here, call to action is repeated over and over and over again. Book now, book now, book now. That's what you want. And then this needs to be changed to a hyperlink. And what I'm going to do here is this is just way too much information for a homepage. In my opinion, homepages should function like an elevator pitch. And an elevator pitch, industry standard, understanding of an elevator pitch is that you have basically a minute or less. And so what we want people to do is if they start from here and scroll all the way down, it should take them a minute to get through most of it or skim it. And right now there's no way that someone could do that in a minute. That's just way too much information. Or there's no way the average person can do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take these. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this section. And I'm going to add it to the About page. Statistically speaking, the second most visited page on any website is the About page. So do not underestimate the power of a good About page. I'm going to drop it in right here. Let's see. Meet the expert. This is misspelling. Again, I don't like that call to action, but I'm going to keep it for now and try to get through other things faster. And like I said, only have an hour, so got to be careful with what I get caught up in. Oof, I do need to change this. I have to change this now. Ooh, let's see. Well, actually, okay. I'm going to keep the name. Wait for it, Wix. Jeez. Okay, that's better. And I need to work on the spacing now. I'm not a big fan of menus being in the footer. I don't understand it. I don't understand why people do it. I've never used a menu in a footer unless it's a bunch of sublinks that shouldn't be in the header, like affiliate and member portal and all these little things in terms and services. That should be in the bottom. I don't know. I don't like menus in the footer. I think it's a waste of time. Fun little fact about copywriting, which, well, maybe I shouldn't say this because it's going to sound like legal advice. Anyway, consult an attorney. But a lot of people update their copyright to be like, oh, it needs to say 2025 because it's 2025. I don't want this to look out of date. However, think about it. Copywriting, if you read a book from 1987, it's copyrighted then, which means that's proving that that's when it was created. So you want to copyright it actually as far back as possible, not to the present. You want it to be as far back in the past as possible, and accurate, of course. Don't just make it. I copyrighted this in 2000. No, you didn't. This business is a year old. Anyway, I'm gonna come back to this About page because I don't love it. We can get rid of this banner. Don't need that. And Wix is gonna take its time again. There we go. Okay. So we've got rid of that section, and now I'm going to drag it up so that it's not so there's not all this dead space. Wow, Wix is really taking its time. Come on, meow. I'm going to delete this section entirely. That should move everything up immediately. All right. So what I'm going to do now is there's this whole thing, which I think this whole thing should be in a page called Our Approach. I think that would be appropriate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to cut it. Ooh, it's not going to let me do that. And the reason is because this doesn't let you do it like 2 sections at a time, which I find really annoying. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna create a new page called Our Approach. Let's see. I'm just gonna do blank. Hey, buddy. What? What? Okay. You want to say hi? All right, we have our blank page. Let's see if this will paste what I just. Oh, okay. Our approach. Now, again, the about page is the second most visited, so that needs to be second in line there, in my opinion. Okay, our approach. Let's go back to the home page. I'm going to grab this section. There we go. Okay. Command X for cut. Yeah, sometimes it lets you cut multiple at a time. Sometimes it doesn't. What I've done in the past is copied both instead of cut, and it does allow you to copy both and then paste it, but then you got to go back and delete. So it's like, all right, let's be consistent. Okay. It's gonna work. Oh, it's working. Okay, now let's go back to home. Let's grab the other section. Fun little tedious things in web design. Trying to scroll. Whew. All right, grabbing this section now. Ooh, let's grab the whole section. There we go. Yes. Oh. Nope, not that. Our approach. Yep. Okay, one down. Oh yeah, good job. We're just gonna take our time. What are you guys up to today? Having a good day? Okay, here we go. I'm going to modify that later. Oh, this is painfully slow. Okay, what I'm going to do now. Okay, great. Both sections in there. Now I'm going to go back up to the top. Oh, I didn't mean to click that. Let's add in a title. Our approach. I'm going to center it. Not happy with the design, but again, only working an hour on this, so I'm just doing the basics here. Okay, now we have an our approach thing. That's great. One thing he's done, by the way, that I love is that he has put the contact form into the footer. Wonderful. This is great. The contact form should be repeated on every single page, but putting in the footer, it does repeat. This is, I will say, way too big. It's overwhelming. So let's just drag that in. Also, the fewer fields there are to fill out, the more likely they are to fill it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit this form. All right, can you guess? Can you guess which one I'm going to get rid of that we don't need? It is subject. Yes. I'm deleting that. And you know what else we don't need? Last name. Tell you why. People don't want to type in twice. They just want to do it once, people. Watch this. Name. Boom. That's it. And then we want to make this required. Okay. And then we're going to make this bigger because emails can be super long. Message. We're going to make this required as well. And also, people do not want to submit. They want to send. So there it is. That is a 4-field form, which will increase the likelihood of someone filling it out. The fewer the fields, the more likely they are to fill it out. And it's smaller, so it's less design-wise, it's less overwhelming. I could even make it a little smaller. Yeah, that's quite a bit better. I like his statement. Let's work together. That's nice. I think he's doing a good job here. I'm actually going to take this. I think this is where the font is, where the font lives. It's a funny little thing about Classic Editor. Wix's Classic Editor is that like you can't collaborate with fonts very effectively. See, look, now I'm using this font because I copied the text box, even though I don't have the font. But if I tried to just start a text box and change it to that font, wouldn't happen, wouldn't work. Funny little thing. Okay, we are heading in a good direction here. All right. Yes. This is looking much better. That space is way too big. We're going to work on that in a little bit. I love this. It's way better. Yes. Okay. Now, one thing I would change is I actually prefer the footer to look consistent, like same color whole way through. So what I would do is I'm going to change. This is the only place we see this color. And I like it when footers are darker than the rest of the site, kind of like as a bookend. So let's treat it like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to make this, expand this, and then drop this into there. So that will make things look a lot more consistent as well. I'm also not a huge fan of blogs being on the homepage, but in this case, I'm going to let it happen. Also, like, I don't like it when sections are like, they need like big, bold text. And we don't need our testimonials. It's like testimonials is fine. Let's change this to 34. Ooh, I don't know. 54. No, 44. I don't understand what the majority have suffered. That's interesting. I don't understand what he's saying there, but okay. That looks more like a subheading now. This looks more like a heading. This more looks like a subheading. It might sound silly, like this looks like a new section. It's a new color, but you got to label things. It's not that people are dumb. It's just this is the way people think. Like we have to see labels. I want to know that I've entered a new section. Oh, here we go. Let's bring this way up. I love this gap of space here. So, you know, big fan. You want breathing room. Don't fear empty space. Empty space is good because it gives the user a break. Look at all this copy. This is so much copy. Whew. Like, okay, one thing that's confusing here is like, is this a different package? And if so, why does one have an image and one doesn't? Professional growth, focus, achieve, elevate. I'm confused. I'm going to come back to that. This is fine. Blog's okay. Yeah, okay. We're going to work on this now. All right, we're going to change this. this now. I think. Drag this way down. This creates space in the footer. This is the quickest way to expand the footer in Classic Editor, in my opinion. It's a frustrated person right there. Not a huge fan of that, but oh well. All right, let's grab this. Let's put it in the footer, in the true footer, let's call it. Ooh, is it gonna let us? Yep, there we go, come on. I'm obviously gonna need to change the colors. Okay, I'm gonna delete that. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna drag this back up. But there's gonna be a big white space underneath this that I'll adjust. Yep. So I'm gonna drag this up. Whew. Okay, here we go. Let's work together. This needs to be contact because that's what this section really is. And then underneath it, we can put like a little subheading. Let's work together. Make that about 25. Yeah. Collaborative statement like this are really great, letting people know they're not alone. More? What do you want? You want me to read to you? All right, yeah, that is way better. Okay, now what we're going to do is I'm going to change the design of this a little bit. Let's go to settings, then go to design, background. We do not want a background, but we also don't want it to look like that. So here's what we're going to do. Form fields. Let me see here. Change this to white. That's fine. Let's change these to white. There we go. Oh, the input needs to stay dark. Field description color. Yeah, all these can stay. Placeholder. Yes, that can stay dark. Link color text. Ooh, no, because that's going to be outside the field. Let's see what happens here when I preview this. Yes. Perfect. Okay, now I hate it when send buttons are huge, actually, now that I think about it. Because I just think it's like, I feel like I'm filling out a form at a doctor's office. Like, you know, on an iPad. And it just feels really cheesy. I actually like them being only the size they need to be. So let's drop this way down. Yeah. It's going to be so much better. Yay. Okay. Yeah. So much better. Okay. All right. We are heading in a good direction. Now, what you'll notice is like this is much clearer when you get to the bottom. Okay. Perfect. Why is this appearing? That's interesting. Oh, I see. What's up, buddy? What's happening? Did you just want to see what's going on here? Okay. Let's see. Yeah, it's much clearer when you've gotten to the bottom. I really don't like that image in the back. It just looks frustrated. We want something that makes people feel happy, by the way. So either we just do a blank color or we find a better image. I'm going to look on some stock image sites and try to find a better image, most likely. Do you want to say hi? Do you want to say hi? Hi? Huh? Yes? No? Huh? There we go. All right, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to fix this menu because you'll notice that it like has like a little arrow to like expand the menu. So I'm just going to go back to that and fix it. It's just a little too congested here now that I added in that extra one called Our Approach. We'll see how far do I need to take this. All right, that's not terrible. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drag these over. No, I'm not interested in that. Quick little note, if you hold the shift key and then press the arrow, it like moves it quicker, makes it like move in bigger chunks. I'm going to see how small I can make this. That's probably going to be about it before it stops working. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, now let's just kind of overview all this. And now here's the thing I don't like. Oh, that's interesting. It's like he was doing a little decorative thing. Let's bring that in. Huh, okay. Not a huge fan, but that's all right. Okay, so what I'm going to do, notice that there's two different sections here, but there's no indicator other than the headings. This isn't great. So what we're going to do is we're going to change this color to be not that. Just enough of a difference to where the eye... I'm going to add a color. Just make it ever so slightly darker. Yeah, that's nice. So I don't want anything too crazy, but something to just tell the user subliminally, like, hey, this is a new section. I also like to keep the spaces even. You'll notice that like the gap here, I want to make the gap the same between the top here and the text. And I'm trying to drag this down, and for some reason it doesn't want to work. I don't know why. It's annoying. Drag on down, buddy. Man, honestly, like Wix is really testing my spirituality. I'll be honest. Dude, this is taking way too long. All right, so that's about even the gap of space. You'll notice between here and here, and then here and here, it's about the same, which I personally like. Now I want to drag this way down. It's just not way down, but I want to create some breathing room is what I like to call it. So let's just move that down, a little bit of breathing room. Great. And then this whole image, I don't really find this image to be incredibly necessary, but it's okay. Let's see, I added in another color. Where did it go? Dude, it's supposed to stay in safe colors. Okay. All right. So that color is this hex. So what we're going to do is use that same exact hex code right here. This is not the way it should normally be done. It should save the color. So there it is. Oh, it did save it. I just had to scroll down. That's funny. I forgot about that. There, you can scroll down. That actually makes total sense. Sorry, Wix. I hope you're not watching this. I'm just watching me just unnecessarily bash you. Let's move down here. Will this move? It's still not moving. Why won't you move? Okay, I'm gonna come back to that because I'm just gonna say that's a glitch, and I'm gonna not let it stress me out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to refresh and see if that helps. And I am coming up on an hour. There was some work I did before I started recording this video as well. So we'll see. We'll see how far I got in an hour. I think I'm going to be pretty pleased with it. Wix was running super slow. I could have moved faster. Could be my internet, but everything else is running quickly. So I don't know. Is this even recording? It is. Okay. Let's go back here. Okay. I'm going to see if this works now. And one other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the menu a little bit because I'm not a fan of, I'll show you, when it kind of functioned like, there it is. It's like, why didn't that work before? But I'm glad it's working now. Okay. Okay, cool. All right. So what I'm going to do here, notice this. Okay, watch. When I hover on Book Online now, it like you can click this and also these. I hate that. This needs to be one where you hover over it and you can't click it. It just needs to function like a folder of pages. You hover over it and then these appear. You shouldn't be able to click this because look, now this goes to like all of the packages. And it's like, you already have them broken into sub pages. So you got to choose like, which one do you want? Do you want to show all the packages or do you want to show the individual ones like this? I think because they're not like, it's not like they have like 20 different packages. They have all of them right here. This is not overwhelming. What we need to do is get rid of these sub pages, and we don't have to delete them. We can just hide them. And they're using the old menu. They haven't upgraded the menu. So this is how you do it. Okay, I think it's probably here. Okay, yeah. Here we go. Hide. Great. This is going to be so much easier to navigate, in my opinion, because if they're here and they go to Book Online, it only shows them one page. The more pages, honestly, the more confusing. We want fewer pages. Only add a page when it's absolutely necessary. And right now, yeah, this is a much cleaner. That was weird how that shifted. This is a much cleaner website. And even the contact, okay, it goes right to basically the footer, which you don't really need. What we can do is change this to where now, I know what's happening. This menu, you see it move again? It's because it's like a little too small. So it's acting a little weird. So let's just drag that out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this. This doesn't need to go to its own page. So what we're going to do instead is I'm going to hide this. And then what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to add a menu item, a link. It's going to go to the contact page. Yep. Or the contact section of the, it's got two home pages. Which one is it? Hold on. That's an old home. I'm going to rename this home 2 so we know what we're dealing with here. This is home. Let's just check the SEO on this real quick, or the 301 redirect. Okay, cool. Also, you don't want home in your site title, just so you know. Little tidbit there. Okay, going back down here to, I'm going to add this menu item. I'm going to actually just add a link. Let's see how this works. Yeah. To a section, home, and it's going to be the footer. We're going to name it contact. Now, I'm a big fan of contact being the last option on the menu. It's kind of a bookend, and I prefer that. So, oh, not there. Which actually I can put it right after blog because these are only live pages. There we go. So now when they click on contact, it's just going to go to the bottom of this page. Right there. There's all the contact information. Super simple. So now here's what we've got for their website. A lot cleaner, a lot easier on the eyes to know when the transitions happened. I need to get clarity from him if these are separate packages. If they are, it needs to be deleted just to remove any redundancies. Like I said here, like this is a large setting, or it's a heading. This should probably be changed as well to be consistent. I'll do that in a second. This is fine. People don't want to submit. We're gonna change that maybe to like go. That would be nice. It's more playful too. And yeah, that's really it. This is a really good looking website now. We have a few branding issues that we need to fix. For instance, like the service is called Pathways, but the domain is webdrc.com. That needs to change. So I'm going to work with him on some of those things. But otherwise, like this is really good, and it's I think in a much better state than it was before. Let me make this even more, a little bit more round and playful. Yeah, that's kind of cool, right? No, not too round. Then it's just a weird circle. Let's go there. Okay, that's nice. Okay. And then this, let me check this. The font size on this, what do you do here? That was 44. I'm going to make this 44 as well. And I really love these fun facts. It's really great. I like it when fun facts are on the homepage. And this is not center aligned. You'll notice that. Let's just drag it up a little bit to make it a little bit more in the center. Now, see these guidelines here? By the way, these are for iPad view. If you see these, this means that none of this, like this will be cut off on an iPad. You will not be able to see that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to make this a little bit smaller. Which it really should function as a subheading anyway. So this is perfect. Okay, and I'm going to drag this in a little bit. And it's fine if that's multiple lines. Let's drag this down. Now, there's one other thing I normally do that I don't have time to do, and that's what we call a shameless. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to do it, even though we're over time. It's called like what we call a shameless internal ad. It's kind of like a repeat of, and it's okay that that's cut off. It's not a big deal. Although I'm sure it's going to drive some OCD people crazy, so let me just do it for your sake. Okay. Oh, so close. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to add in what we call a shameless internal ad. Now, this might not need it because there's a lot on this homepage already, even though I've removed some things. Like I might get rid of the blog because not many people are reading them anyway. And what I might put, what's happening? Why are we zooming? Okay. What I might put here instead is what we call a shameless internal ad, which is basically a repeat of the first fold of the homepage. It's like this, repeated. And so like it'll be like gain confidence in your second language, something like that. And that'll be I think like a nice reminder to people, like really we want you to do this call to action, book now. A lot of web design is just being obvious. It's like telling people exactly what you want them to do. That's the reason we do these clear and obvious call to actions. Is like, it's that we want people to take these actions. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to copy this first fold of the homepage, and I'm going to duplicate it. And just an easy way to move it is just click the down arrow. It'll move it to the next section. Then you do click it again, move it down. Oh, where'd it go? There we go. Click it again, move it down. Oh shoot, now I'm moving both? What happened? That's not what I wanted. Looks like it like somehow grabbed it both. Oh, this is so annoying. What are you doing, dude? Oh, okay. I'm gonna cut this and see what happens. Okay. And I'm gonna drag this section back up. Oh, I see. It duplicated the strip and not the section. Strips and sections, man. Whew. I'm gonna call that user error though. That was my fault. That's my fault. I'm gonna drop this in here and see if it actually does it. Oh, nice. Okay, it did. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this. I'm gonna get rid of this blog area. Okay, I'm gonna cut that, but I'm gonna save it for later. What I do is I like to create a little page called spare parts, and I hide it. Blank page. Now, it's important anytime you're actually hiding something that you make it not be indexed by Google. Okay. So let me show you how to do that. Spare parts. I'm going to do something. I'm going to hide it from the menu. I'm also going to change the SEO to where it does not index. Let search engines index this page? No. And what I'm also going to do is drop it down all the way. I'm going to try to drop it down all the way to the bottom. It's just what my practice there. And it worked. That way I didn't delete it entirely. It's there in case I want to use it later. That's nice. So I'm going to go back to this home page and I'm going to readjust some things. Am I? Wait for it. Wait for it. Actually, I do hope someone from Wix is watching this. Like, please. Like, every other website I load is so fast. Y'all need to change some things. I don't know what. Couldn't tell you the first thing. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to change this image to, let's see, his demographic, Middle Eastern. I'm going to look for a Middle Eastern woman. Love doing racial profiling image searches. So nice. So fun. I think this is showing me middle-aged women, not Middle Eastern women. I mean, some of these are. I mean, this could work because it's like she's listening and it's pleasant. Let's do something like this. Let's do like, we could even repeat the same exact phrase. Get rid of that. Get rid of this. I'm going to change where this is positioned. Maybe. Maybe I'm not. Settings. There we go. Maybe like down a little. Yeah, that's nice. Be confident every time. I'm going to make this center aligned. Kind of in the center. Stretch it out a little bit. Not much. I think that's pretty decent. Again, shameless internal ad. That's kind of like just a repeat. Oh, shoot. It still has it saved as a slide. Ooh. It should by default delete that option, I feel like. Oh, well. And I'm going to make this a little bit smaller, too. It's just a little too bulky. Yeah, that's better. Oh, see, now I need to change that to not. Yeah, it's going to cut off her head, the top there. So let's. I don't want this like over her face. That's pretty decent. Okay. Now I need to change it, I think, to not show the buttons. Right now it's showing the button. Show slide buttons. Boom. Gone. Nice. I got to do the same up here so it doesn't have this little thing down there. All right. Let's do it. Oh, yeah. Okay. Now we're talking. Okay. So here it is, the website. Much better, much improved. Spaced things out a little bit better, made things more obvious. Definitely heading in a really great direction. Very aesthetically pleasing, less busy. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Is this an improvement? And if you were hiring us to do 1 hour of work on your website, would you be happy with us delivering this to you? And if you want us to do this for you, let us know. And yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, and even share. Thanks, y'all. Have a good one.